For today's video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I hardwired my Midland radio, so that way it turns on when I turn the vehicle on. And I'm also going to show you guys first on how to just install it as a plug and play. So I'm going to be showing you those two things in today's video, and I'm also going to be showing you guys how I installed the little stubby antenna that goes on the hood. This just kind of helps out with reception. So go ahead and watch this. What's up, you guys? Welcome back, and welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be installing a Midland communication radio onto my Tacoma. If you guys do want some communication, so when you guys are off-road with your buddies, I would highly suggest getting this actual brand, and even this one right here. It's a great value and it works really good. If you guys do end up wanting to purchase it, it's going to be in the description box below. For today's video, the cool thing about this, everything you're gonna need to install it, plug and play, super easy, is gonna come inside this box. So once you put everything together, you can go out there, have some fun, and talk to your friends. So if you guys are interested, just make sure to watch this video all the way to the end, and I'll show you guys how it's done. So before we start the installation, checking this out right here, everything that you're gonna need to literally just kind of plug and play and go out there and use it. It's gonna be with the radio, it's gonna be with your actual walkie, it's gonna be with the antenna, and all the wiring and hardware you're gonna need, including a bracket to mount it. Quality on this, as far as like how clear when you guys are talking to someone is, it's crazy. So I would highly recommend it. Like I said, description box below. Another thing that I got, this is an extra cost. This does not come inside the box. I'm only doing this because I want to kind of upgrade the antenna and mount it elsewhere. You guys, so the first thing you're going to want to go ahead and get, go ahead and take out your radio, take out the bracket, and then you want to go ahead and take out the little bag that has like a fuse in it and 3 little screws. The reason why, the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to just kind of mock up and see where I'm going to install it. Once I kind of have an idea of where I'm going to be putting it, up next I'm going to get a marker and just kind of mark the holes as to where I'm going to be drilling into this plastic here. But I have my bracket mounted on. It's super sturdy. It looks great. That's exactly where I wanted it. Like I said, you guys can mount it elsewhere. It doesn't really matter. This is up to you guys. Up next, what you want to do is get your radio. As far as for the battery, if you guys just want this as an easy type of plug and play, literally grab the provided connection, install it, make sure it clips in, and then this just goes to your cigarette port. Like I said, as far as for me, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting this and I'm going to hardwire into my truck. They use the provided antenna that comes with it. You just go ahead and put it into the port, twist it to tie down, and then you guys can mount this antenna anywhere. On the back side, it has a magnet. For those of you guys that do want it as far as a cleaner install, thanks for staying till this part. So I'm going to go ahead and now just kind of remove the antenna that comes with it. I'm going to take the radio back out. Like I said, I mean, if you guys want something simple, clean, that's the way to go. This is literally plug and play. First, for me, I'm gonna be removing this antenna, so I won't be using this stock one that it comes with anymore. So if someone wants to buy it, let me know. I'm gonna be installing this awesome one over here. As you can tell, even the wiring is a little bit more heavy duty. If you guys do want it, Midland's website's on there. All right, you guys, so if you did make it to this part of the video, it probably just means that you guys are interested in the hardwiring process of this whole installation. So the first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is gonna be installing this antenna, which is the one that's gonna kind of help out with the reception and stuff like that. Like I said, you don't need to buy this, but if you did buy it, I'm going to show you guys just how to install it. It's super easy. So of course, we're going to put the stubby antenna after. We're going to go ahead and start with the wiring process first. So of course, this section here, as you can tell, it has like a little notch and then 2 screws at the bottom. This is basically where the antenna is going to sit on. And then this here, the reason why there's a notch is because this is going to go installed onto your hood, which I'll show you guys in a minute. So what we're going to be doing with this is on the coax cable, which is going to be connected to the actual radio inside the truck. This part is going to be, of course, like I said, inside. So we're going to have to run it through the firewall into the cab. So of course, on the coax cable, it is a little bit too fat, as you can tell. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to remove it. So it's super easy. So from the factory, it does come pretty loose. So all you have to do is just kind of hand remove it, and it comes right off. I'll show you guys why in a minute. But like I said, we're going to need to run it through the cab, and if you leave this on, you won't be able to. It's going to be too fat. So we're going to go ahead and just start with this right here. This, we'll put it off to the side. Make sure you don't lose it because we are going to need it. So let's do that now. So for this next section that you want to do, once you've removed the coax cable from the wire, you want to go ahead and get yourself a metal clothes hanger. and just literally open it up. We're going to be running wires, so it's going to help you out in that process if you do this. Super easy. So now that you have your clothes hanger just kind of straightened out as best as you can, we're going to go ahead and grab that side of the coax cable that's going to go connected to the Midland radio. We removed that bigger section for now. We'll put it back later. So what we're going to do is tape it onto the clothes hanger just like that. I'm just going to be using some black electrical tape. Once you've taped on the wire onto the clothes hanger, now we're going to be running it to the firewall. Looking down here, noticing this wire here, I've already ran one wire through. What I did was cut a nice little slit onto the grommet that's in there, so that way we could get through the firewall. So since I have that hole already, I'm just going to go ahead and put my clothes hanger right in through there. And if you have someone inside the cab, this helps out because then they could go ahead and see kind of what you're doing and where you're putting it through. So I have it enough right now. I'm going to go ahead and now go inside the cab and pull the rest of it in. Let's do that now. Pulling it from inside the cab, it should come in nice and freely if you did this correctly, as you can tell. So just like that, nice and easy. So up next, of course, this you're going to want to go ahead and just kind of put it near wherever your radio is, where you're going to be installing it. Up next, we're going to run the wiring through there. So let's go ahead and now feed it that way, all the way to where the passenger side, where the radio actually is. If you guys didn't get this extra antenna, you can use the one that was provided. What we're going to do here is reconnect the coax cable. Super easy. Exactly the way you took it off, you put it back on. But this time you want to tighten it real good, so that way you get a good connection. Now that, of course, the wire's on this side, we've reinstalled the coax cable connection. Let's go ahead and remove our Midland radio. This is something really cool that I like about the bracket. It's really easy to remove it, and of course to install it. So removing it, let's go ahead and now connect the antenna. Super easy. Just like that, it twists on. And then we'll go ahead and put this back to its original location. Now that we connected the antenna wire into the actual Midland radio, up next, I've left enough slack to go ahead and put it on my hood. That way the hood can open and close with no problem. So you're going to notice right here at the bottom, there is two like little screws. You want to go ahead and just open them up. Once you've opened them up, you want to go ahead and kind of put it in the location where you're going to want to set it. This little notch here, you just slide it right in and it'll fit into place. Once you slide it in, you can go ahead and tighten this down. Now all we got to do is put the actual antenna onto it. So looking up here, it's going to have a connection. It does have a gasket, so that way it doesn't get water in there. We're just going to go ahead and put it on, tighten it down. Super easy, just like that. So now that we've connected the antenna wire into the actual Midland radio, we've installed the antenna onto the hood. Up next, and all we have left, of course, is going to be the power. So if you guys did stay this long into the video, that just means that you guys do want to also hardwire your Midland radio. So there's going to be actually two different ways of doing this. But before that, like I was saying, it is a plug and play, which you could go ahead and connect it. You can go ahead and just use this and put it into your cigarette port. But as far as for me, I don't want to do that. Reason why I'm doing it the hardwire, because say one day I'm off-road and I want to go ahead and charge my phone and I want to use that, I'm not going to be able to install or connect both, I should say. That's the reason we're doing the hardwire. To do that, you're going to have two different types of ways of doing this. So of course, first things first, we're going to have to kind of splice this. So go ahead and cut that off. That's going to be trash now. So you're going to notice on this wire here, there's going to be a red one, and then there's going to be a black one. So the red one is going to be your positive, and then the black one is going to be your negative, or your ground wire, I should say. So the cool thing about this wire, it comes with an inline fuse. So what that means is you can connect this literally directly into your battery with no problem. So there's only one downside to connecting it directly to your battery. Say one day you go ahead and turn on your radio, and then you forget to turn it off. This can drain your battery, and then you're going to be stuck somewhere, and that's not going to be a good day. So the next thing that you could do, if you guys want to do it, which is what I'm going to go ahead and do, is you could go ahead and connect it to maybe an ACC power. I'm going to go ahead and add a fuse on here, and then we'll go ahead and go to the connecting, and then we'll test it out and show you guys that it works. First things first though, I'm going to go ahead and run my wire back over that way, because my little fuse box is going to be down there, and that's where I'm going to be connecting this. So let me go ahead and get my clothes hanger, run it through, and then I'll get back to you guys. So of course, once you have the wire through, this is coming from the other side. Don't mind the mess, I'm sorry about that. So first thing we're gonna do, since I am gonna be doing it into the actual fuse box that's inside, so that way I could just use it when the car is on. If not, you could ignore this section and literally just go ahead and connect straight to your battery. I'm not gonna be doing that, like I said. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this panel. It's super easy. All you do is just kind of pull up on it and it removes just like that. And notice here, mine is missing, but on your guys's, on this kick panel that's here, there will be like a little nut there. You go ahead and unscrew it. You could do it by hand. The nut will come out, and then you could go ahead and pull this whole panel back. But once it's off, and now we could go ahead and expose the fuse box. Notice down here is the actual fuse box. That's what I'm going to be tapping into. So let me get you guys a better look so you can see what I'm doing. Alright you guys, so now that we've ran the wire over here, which is the power wire, this is the one that's connected to the actual Midland radio on the passenger side. We're going to be now splicing it open and kind of just doing our connections. So to do this, I'm going to go ahead and just splice these wires open. Super easy. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and just connect my spade real quick. Make sure to give this a nice squeeze. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do the add a fuse. So this add a fuse, I got it at AutoZone, including the fuses. I just put a 10 there and a 15 there. That's what I did when I installed my CB radio, so it should be the same as far as fuses. If you guys know more than me on that, go ahead and comment it down below. That way you guys can help someone out. So there you go. Let me go ahead and connect that bad boy in there. Go ahead and tighten this bad boy down. Nice tug, make sure it's not going to fall. That's how our connection should look now. So on the add a fuse, we have the 10 on the top, 15 at the bottom. So of course that's for the positive side. So looking down here, what we're going to be working on is going to be in the fuse box right here. So let me go ahead and pull it out and show you guys what we're going to be connecting it to. So looking at the fuse box here, you're going to notice on this left side there's a 5A, 7.5A, and a 15A. We're going to be installing it onto that 15A. So let's go back to the fuse box, remove that fuse, the 15A, and then we'll go ahead and install our add a fuse onto it. Let's do that now. So looking right underneath here, let me go ahead and show you guys. I've already semi pulled it out, so it's going to be sticking out. But looking right underneath here, this side is the one that's closest, I want to say, to your inside of the cab. That's the side we're going to be working with. So you're going to notice there's a bunch of yellow ones, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm looking at. But you're going to see this 15 right here, way at the back. That's the one that we're going to be removing. And then we'll go ahead and install our add a fuse into that there. Let's do it now. Here's our add a fuse. Let's go ahead and connect it right there in that slot. Just like that. Make sure it's connected correctly. For our negative, well, we're going to be connecting that. If you move these wires down here, at least on the 2020 Tacoma, you're going to notice right there, there's a bolt. You can go ahead and unscrew it a little bit. That's a grounding bolt, so you can go ahead and ground it off right there. I'm going to do that now. All right, let me show you guys the finished product. So looking right, when I pull this back, you're going to notice right there, that was the grounding bolt I was talking about, right in back of this wire here. So I grounded it off there using that connection. Tightened it down. Looking back up on the fuse box to show you guys one more time, there it is. Go ahead and put all these other panels back on, and then I'll show you guys that it works, and then you're good to go. So I know I originally said I was going to mount the antenna here, but I ended up mounting it there. When you're inside the cab, it doesn't really get in the way. The only reason I did that because I didn't feel it was that secure here, and it was kind of in the way of my actual pod. So if I ever use this at night, I felt like there was going to be a shadow. So I've installed it here just so it's out of the way, and it still looks good. Alright you guys, so now that I'm done, I want to go ahead and show you guys. So as you can tell, I did vacuum, so everything looks nice and clean. Everything looks factory. It doesn't really look like I touched anything. And of course, like I said, I placed the radio here, but you can put it anywhere. I still haven't found a spot to put this. I may get one of those mounts that go up here. I don't know yet, but let's go ahead and show you guys that it works. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this vehicle real quick. All right, let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. And there it is, you guys. So now you can go ahead and use this off-road. Damn. And no lie, this thing is actually pretty good. So let's go ahead and turn it off. As you can tell, as I turned off the vehicle, it turned off the radio. So now I can't turn it on anymore. which is exactly what I wanted. So if you guys want to do it this way, make sure to follow my steps. If you guys do have questions, of course, comment them down below. So I hope you guys did like today's video. If you guys did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna go ahead and now go enjoy my Midland radio. If you want to buy yours, description box below. See you guys.
Super simple, please feel free to subscribe.